Welcome back, everybody, to the Defender Network Roundtable. Today is a fun episode because we are here to discuss the movie that everybody has been talking about right now, and that is Ryan Coogler's new horror film, Sinners. It's #1 at the box office right now, and that's for good reason. And because it's more than just a horror film, there were a lot of gems dropped. And so joining me in this chat, we have our Defender team, Rashonda Tate, Aswad Walker, and Terrence Harris. Now, before we begin, this is a spoiler. So if you haven't watched the film, I suggest you watch the film before you watch this episode. So let's get right into it. The film is about two twins, Stack and Smoke, played by Michael B. Jordan, who left their hometown in Mississippi and fought the war in World War I. They came back eventually from living in Chicago, working with gangster Al Capone. They went back to Mississippi to open a juke joint. And upon their grand opening of the juke joint, vampires showed up and created chaos and havoc. So that is just the short synopsis of everything, because it's more in depth to that. And the movie has done very, very well during its opening season. It garnered about $48 million domestically and $63 million globally and counting. So by the time you watch this, I'm sure the numbers are still rolling. Yeah. And so for you guys, what stood out most to you all about the movie? Was it the theme? Was it the storytelling? Was it the acting? I give it to anybody on the floor.
You know, I'm not a vampire. I like Vampire in Brooklyn. Yes, I will admit that. But other than that, I don't do vampires. But I didn't hesitate to go see this movie because I'm a fan of Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. But more importantly, and to the reason why we're even talking about this when there are so many movies that do come out that we don't talk about, is I admire Ryan Coogler's business acumen behind all of this. I love all that Sinners has come out and it's achieved since its opening weekend. It's one of the best scored movies in Rotten Tomatoes history. It's the only horror movie to have an A cinema score in 35 years. And it's the best opening for an original movie in recent memory. And so all of that, along with the deal that Ryan negotiated, spoke to me. And that's why I wanted to go support. I didn't know what to expect because I don't do vampires, but I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, like for me, it was all of the things that were surrounding the movie, not necessarily the movie itself, but just what Coogler had done in terms of being able to get the deal that he got. It's just, it's incredible because it's unheard of. I mean, this man, I mean, when you make a movie, it's Hollywood's forever. And he gets his back in 25 years, and it's his. So what a gift he's going to be able to give to his kids. And hopefully it's a game changer in how movies are made and how producers are paid. I mean, and directors are paid, because this was, I mean, it's phenomenal. But the movie itself, incredible acting. I mean, I'm a huge Michael B. Jordan fan, and even the cast. I mean, the ensemble cast was just perfect. I mean, so it's definitely a must see. I mean, I would recommend it. And I don't think it's billed as a horror movie. I didn't really see it as much as that. I saw it more as a suspense. I mean, I was trying to follow the story.
That's why
I love the fact that you all are talking about the whole business impact, but just the movie itself was beautiful. I mean, cinematically, if that's the right word, it was just absolutely gorgeous to watch. But the thing that spoke to me most was it tapped into us. It tapped into our culture, it tapped into our history, and it tapped into our humanity in the way that Black people, we open our arms wide to all humanity. And we saw this in the movie. And I'm sure we're going to get to that one scene a little bit later, but just the whole movie just blew me away. And that's what really captured me, even before it got to all the vampire stuff, where all the MAGA people showed up and spoiled the party. But just an absolutely gorgeous movie, and was one for the culture.
Let's just tap into the theme, since we're dabbling into some of the messaging in the movie, because he Ryan is so good at doing that with previous movies in his past. So for you guys, if you were able to catch some things, what were some messages that you saw that, you know, that Black culture, Black people should take into our own lives?
So I love the weaving of the music. That scene was just beautiful to me, and how he weaved the music from our African ancestors to the hip hop to the blues, and it just weaves seamlessly together. It didn't feel out of place. It felt like we were getting a lesson in a movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part too. I mean, I was like, first I was a little thrown. I was like, what's going on here? You had the old school dancing, and then you have people twerking and all kinds of things. And you're like, what the, but like you said, I mean, once you just really, you got a grasp of what he was doing, the messaging there, you were like, wow, this is impressive.
Yeah, and the thing that really moved me was it was just a reminder that the way Pan-African Black people move in the world, um, for us, our ancestors are always a part of us, whether we see them or not. They're always present in our lives, and that's the thing that I took away. Like when he put those flowers down on the grave of his child, um, when his woman was talking about, if something happens to me, make sure you take me out because I got somebody waiting for me on the other side, and they're waiting for you too. It was just a real celebration of how we move spiritually, and I absolutely love that.
Yeah, and just to tap into what you guys are saying, as far as, the movie concepts, because I was in the movie theater just like typing like, oh, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Of course, like with the blues music, the vampires are the colonizers, in my opinion. They're coming in here, they're pandering to us, trying to make us feel comfortable so they can get inside the cookout, but we're here questioning them whether like what is their motive. They still find a way to get in, take our identity, take our culture. They are a threat to us, and that's
Call them what they were. They were the Republican Party, and they had some Black Republicans to join them. So shout
yes.
out to our friends.
Even the part where the one of the vampire, I don't know if he was speaking Chinese, but he was able to like tap in, take the culture and speak what he don't understand, but he's still taking everything,
But
which
did
was
y'all hear
wild.
that? He was talking about how much, oh, we love your stories. We need your
Yes.
music. We need you. Man, ain't that them?
Yeah. And even the sawmill where the juke joint was located, um, that was a place where the white supremacists were killing Blacks at that time. And then when you saw one of the twins put his hand on the floor and say, what was that? I said, that's blood. Okay, that's Black people. They killed Black people in there. That's blood right there. And
Yeah.
so, and then you saw how the person the white man who took the money for them who sold the mill, right? They come in there knowing that the KKK is going to come eventually, take what didn't belong to them because the Black folk already paid for it, only for them to now come back and reclaim what wasn't theirs. So, and then we saw at the end, guns blazing, we protecting what's ours because he already paid for it. Like, there was a lot going on. I can go on and on and on. Even I thought about you, Aswad, about church and spirituality in this whole entire thing. I spoke to some folks who, I mean, they love God, they love Jesus, and they were like, man, this movie was a lot. They just need a cleaner version of it because this is a biblical movie, but in the horror form. So did you see some pointers, Aswad, as far as church and spirituality in this movie?
It speaks to me from my perspective because my spiritual perspective is there's one God known by many names. None of us are God. So how dare we try to play God? Like if you don't believe the way I believe, you're going to hell. And so I think some of us Black Christians who are holier than thou need to get over ourselves and recognize that God has spoken to us through Ifa, Candomblé, Vundum, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, all those things. And so just come on, man, get with it. Get with the damn program.
Yeah.
That's existential, my brother. Existential.
Can we talk about though how phenomenal the Michael B. Jordan distinguished the two roles because he played the dual roles. And at first I was like, so how are they going to pull this off? And to me, it was like he really had gotten two twin Michael B. Jordans.
Yes. And those are the only pair of Jordans that I like to see.
And I'm gonna tell you, I just wonder how he, what I started thinking about, Rashonda, to your point, is how did this man debrief from this? I mean, how did he come down from this? Because he did such a phenomenal job with both of those characters, and they were very different and very complex. I mean, and he handled them both, beautifully. I mean, he took his acting ability, in my mind, with this movie to just another level that I think we just haven't really seen very often before. So he was very impressive, and how he handled both of those roles. I saw, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I saw two different people, even though it was him. I saw two different people in those roles. And so he did, and him being able to have that effect on you, I thought that said a lot about the job that he did with the roles.
And the thing that I really appreciated, absolutely two different people, but one thing they had in common, they both had a fierce love for their woman. Neither one of them were players. And I'm a sucker for love. I love love stories, and I don't think this gets enough play in this movie. How they were so fiercely in love with the women in their life, and seeing Black men stand like that, I really like that.
And speaking of that love, I want to give a big shout out to Annie, because I love the fact that Annie was a regular Black woman.
Yeah.
Wasn't a glamour. She was a regular Black woman.
Yes.
And
I agree.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yep.
And she was the protector.
Yep.
Even though she was into hoodoo practitioner, like she knew what was happening when it came to the vampires coming to attack the juke joint. Everybody's eating the garlic. She got people together. Like, this is what you were supposed to do. This
Without
is how
her,
we're
they would have all
ourselves.
been dead just like that.
Dead. And even for her estranged husband, right? I believe it was Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
The necklace that he was wearing throughout the whole entire movie. She's like, I've been protecting you since the entire time you've been gone. And up until his death, he removed the necklace, and he got, he shot, he died, right? So like, that just shows how strong, how intentional Black women are in everything that we do. Did you see that?
Okay,
Lord
and see, we could go on and on in this, but I did look to see what Ryan has next, because as I said, I love the business aspect, but did you know he's bringing the X-Files to Hulu?
Oh, so, you better believe I know about that.
Wow.
Ryan Coogler is a bad boy, man.
Yes.
I mean, he is. I'm a huge fan. I mean, definitely. I can't wait for the next Black Panther.
Right.
Can I just add one thing real quick, y'all?
Yes.
I just saw this interview with Ryan Coogler. He was talking about how movies and cinema as an art form is a relatively new thing. It hadn't been around for that long. And for most of the time, it's been used against Black people to show us in a horrible light, blah, blah, blah. And really, up until the movie, I think it was Amistad or Sankofa, it was rare that you saw Black people committing violent acts against whites. Rare. But in this movie, one of the last scenes, Michael B. Jordan just took out the whole Klan, and I appreciated that, because resistance is our history, but that history just doesn't get told. I'll shut up.
And I like the fact that, with this deal that he has with Warner Brothers, and how he got Hollywood's clutching on their pearls right now. Yeah. I love it, because even then, like, this is Black stories. This is our story. And he's trying to find a way to keep that within us, because Hollywood has its own way of trying to tell our story. So this Black man is trying to find the way to keep it in the culture. And I absolutely love it. Any final thoughts about this movie? What do you guys feel? The themes are ongoing. I can go on.
I think it's a must see. I mean, get out, go see it. I mean, I went to the movies on a Tuesday night at 9:30, and my movie theater was packed.
Yep.
So let's keep doing that. I mean, let's keep supporting this movie. I mean, and hopefully this will lead to bigger and better things from not only Ryan, but other Black directors and producers out here. So let's definitely support it, because this is great work.
And you can see it even if you're, like I said, I'm not a vampire movie. I don't really like a whole lot of blood and guts and all that, but I didn't feel that was like an afterthought. I
Right.
mean, that wasn't the story. So
Right, right.
if that's one of your concerns, don't worry about it.
The story was us. The story
Yeah.
was our history. The story was us trying to build for self. And this is the perfect movie with the perfect message in this particular moment.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you to everyone who is watching this episode today. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and please follow us on social media for more Black stories with our amazing Defender team. Until next time, thank you.